All right, Ollie, I got something to show you. I don't know, have you played around with Remotion at all in Claude, or you heard about it?
I've heard about it. I haven't yet played with it though.
Yeah, so Remotion is basically like a video editor effectively, but they've released a Claude skill recently and an SDK that allows you to directly plug into Claude code. So you can basically make videos by typing,
Damn.
and obviously I was hearing about it on Twitter, people were talking about it. Sorry, X. But I hadn't played with it. And then obviously we've got Best to Buy out at the moment. We've got the new 5-day sprint framework. And I was like, man, like one of the things I really want to try and crack now is automated marketing, but not in a traditional sense of, just email marketing, as well as good as that is with, AI as well. But more like, how can we create social content or media, and what does that look like? And it's interesting because you have an AI slop version, right, which is just like obvious type of content. But what's so interesting with using this is the same design eye or brain you would use to build beautiful sites. You're using that same vision and brain when you're also creating videos, right? So like, I've been to film school, I've made videos, I've directed stuff. And whenever I'm making things, I've always got a vision in my mind of what I'm trying to create and put out there. And then you're using your tools such as camera, editing software, whatever it might be, to get the visual correct. But now it's like, hold on a second. First of all, I can just talk to Claude Code and have it create an output. Then I can layer in my taste palette, my vision. And then where it goes bonkers is you can plug in anything, so now you can think about your nano bananas or whatever it is that, you want to get to generate media, to the point of what you were speaking about earlier on. And you can now create programmatic videos. And to the
Wow.
point that it doesn't just work in Claude Code. Once you create sort of a template, let's say I've created a template for something, I can go onto my website that I've built, for example, 5-day sprint, and hit generate video for a specific, blog post, let's say, that I've got, and it can go and follow that template and just output you content. Then you might be able to plug in a scheduling tool directly, and then maybe auto schedule content. So that got my brain ticking, and especially since we've just released the whole sort of idea side of 5-day sprint, which we're still working on. But the idea here is that you can just come in here, and there'll be different business ideas that you might want to explore, and you can just sort of run them straight away and build your project using the 5-day sprint framework. And this is free for everyone to do. Of course, if you want to build your own projects, going to a new project and setting up your own, then you have to be part of, the membership. But I was thinking like, well, what if we could have videos that could reflect the ideas that we like the most, or the daily ideas? Like, I don't know if it's overkill to share these on social media every day, but what would a video look like that takes this and does something with it? And so I've only really been playing with this for altogether less than an hour, right?
Okay.
And I'm just so impressed with what it can do, and it got my mind ticking even more in terms of what's possible. And I've got some ideas of some things I think we can maybe play around with even during this call. But this is what I played around with, and we output this, so you can see this here. This is cool. And then I'm gonna add some other bits here. And this is like the slop that it turned out for me. Obviously, I'm gonna clean up. But it's just like a 15-second story that I could put on my Instagram with a many chat thing. That at the end of it, it can literally say reply idea to get this in your inbox right away. And that allows us to build more of the email list, right, through socials, where people will reply, build automatic many chat. And if you guys haven't heard of many chat, by the way, it's an amazing automation. I was going to open up my account. Let me see if I can. It's so annoying. You never know when you're live streaming what's going on. So ManyChat is really good at automating just like conversations on social, so people can reply something. You might have seen this obviously when someone says comment, and I do it as well. Comment watch, and I'm going to send you whatever, and it's an automatic DM process that happens. But the cool thing with ManyChat is you can also plug in. It's again like similar to Zapier or Make, like these sort of node-based systems. You can say, okay, when someone replies, ask them for their email. They give their email. Well, now store this email for me somewhere. In our case, it could be directly on our email list. And so you'll now get all of the ideas to your inbox, and that allows us to warm up those leads and, bring more people in. So you can do that for any type of business. So obviously I'm going to explore it for Best to Buy. How can I take, places that we have listed and turn them into something? Now, again, where this gets more fun is you can layer on 11 labs. You can end up taking a transcript of something or get it to generate
Wow.
for you, and then turn around and say, hey, here's a cool idea that you should look at today. Turnkey, da-da-da. It's a 348K business that, and it can have the all the details in there, and you can just constantly refine the content, but it's a template, which means that we can now spit this out for any idea and go into our database and say, yeah, generate video, and it'll just create the video for us straight away that you can just download and just post. So that's that sort of like automatic marketing thing that I'm just so obsessed with. And I really think video, I feel like this is going to be such a big playground for me now. But yeah, it's mad. And what I wanted to do is maybe show a little demo of how easy it is to use Remotion. You can just say to Claude Code to install Remotion, and it'll install the Claude skills and whatever. But I thought, you know what? It might be cool also to play around and see if we can like create a explainer video of something, and like see what it outputs. So I think we should try that. But while I'm setting that up, I'll hand it over to you for a minute and let your brain go.
That's wild. That third tab's pretty insane. The animation of the scroll bar and then the price tag pops up. I've seen people use this. I remember when it first came out, I remember dropping you a message, but it was the same with most things, which is it will last if it lasts, right? And it's just ironic to say, but like most things get that 3-day hype cycle on X or other platforms and they disappear. Whereas this is, I mean, very cool and very strong. So I'm excited to understand. So from a business use case, I mean, for the everyday business right now, away from 5-day sprint, online businesses, etc., this is a pretty cool angle for them to get increased content out that's not going to take their teams or have to hire animation staff. I mean, full stop, right? Is that where we're at?
Yeah, definitely. Like you can think about this from a perspective of absolutely, man. Like explainer videos, 100%. That's like the go-to. But I think what's more interesting is that part of creating a video normally requires a lot of planning and thinking and composition and all these type of things, right? And even as I'm building things, it's like, okay, where do I put this thing and how do I animate it? And man, like similar to when I speak about vibe coding and how we used to build sites, I mean, as simple of an example as like, manually writing code, like someone posted the other day and said, how did we ever used to write this many lines of code? And then I do with AI and it's like flushing through it. It's similar here. It's like you used to sit there manually doing keyframes to make something animate in Premiere Pro or After Effects, and you're waiting for the rendering time, and based on your computer, it can be slow. And here you're like just talking it and it's coming to life. And so I'm going to try this now. So I've said use Remotion to set up a new composition. You need to research OpenClaw's recent partnership with OpenAI, because I think it'll be interesting to take something so timely and give you an example of what might it look like if you're running something that required up-to-date news, which is basically any business, right? Any business needs up-to-date news. But if you could be the first in that morning to produce content and have it out there, like, you're building a great audience just from that. So OpenClaw's respond to OpenAI, then create a video for Instagram story that acts as an explainer, beautiful explainer, no AI slot design.
I mean, carry on typing away, dude, because I've just had like literally a thought here, which is a lot of big X accounts are just news breakers, right? In the sense of new update comes through, and I can imagine behind the scenes of their X account is APIs pulling information from Firecrawls, Perplexities of the world, and it's just giving them inbound information saying, here's an update, here's what happened, and it triggers in the first 5 minutes of that update dropping a post getting scheduled on X. Whereas from what you're probably inferring right now is, well, why don't we take the written post into a bit more of a visual, so it's a bit more appealing for the eye for people to go and watch that kind of 30-second trailer of a new update has dropped, and they can have their own spin on it, which I think is very much needed, because everyone's post looks very similar when it's written out, right? Unless you've got a key focus or a key way of speaking in your copy, everyone's post just feels like the exact same thing. It's just a copy and paste on different people's accounts and different followings, etc. Whereas if you now have autonomy over your own design through Remotion and how you can then make the output look, each video will be different, and then it goes almost to the skill-based merit, which is whose looks most appealing that I can enjoy watching, and then the psychological roots of how does it keep me there, engaging me, etc., which sounds baffling if you don't know anything about psychology, but funnily enough, you can use Claude, the most intelligent platform on the universe pretty much, to say what psychological habits can we use inside of our content to keep people engaged. And magically, it will go and do it for you.
That's a whole recursive thing here that's becoming interesting. And even part of like the system that we built for how we generate, excuse me, the ideas that we share with everyone under the 5-day sprint, it takes into account data of open rates on emails, engagement, the things they clicked on, things they didn't click on. And then when it's generating new content for us, it's taking that insight. And so the more and more you're doing, the smarter and smarter your output is becoming over time. And that's just like such an interesting loop. As you can see here, I'm using Perplexity MCP. So again, just think about all of the tools which are limitless that you can use inside of Claude Code to actually get it to do things here. So Perplexity is going doing research, which means that we will have up-to-date information. We're not having to give it websites to crawl or anything. No, we're saying go and find your information. Then it's going to invoke the skill here. So it's understand the best practices for remotion, and it's going to start setting up a template and design for us. And then we'll also see, first of all, how good the output is from the jump. But then we'll iterate on it, and we'll see the same way you work with localhost, where you're making changes and they're happening live in real time. It's the same thing, because it sets up a video editor for you inside your localhost. So you can see here, localhost daily idea story. So I can just go here right now and say, let's say I want to take this text here, open up Remotion here and say, make the estimated revenue number text less bold. Right. And so we'll just watch it here. I won't touch anything. Look, Ma, no hands. And in a moment, you just see that. There you go. It just changed straight away. So now imagine like anything, even this whole thing, the slider animation, that's an actual animation thing going on with connects to real data. So it's not like, if I was doing this myself, I'd be doing artificial data because I have to like edit numbers and imagine every day changing numbers. Like just thinking about things like this, the fact that you can create high quality content using real data and information at scale is just, and again, when we say these things and we share them, the greatest sentiment here that I want people to take away is realizing how much opportunity is opening up day to day that wasn't possible yesterday, a week before, a month before, whatever, And so if you're looking at it from a standpoint of, well, how many businesses were being created over the last 20 to 30 years, let's say just over the internet era, there were still brand new $1 billion businesses, or even 10 grand a month businesses, let's keep it simple, being generated in the internet space without AI, and still are, that are, leveraging just the internet, And so imagine that, but now in an AI world where we're very new, there's so much more possibility. You can build things that you can never build before just through natural language and using tools like Claude Code. You have marketing, right in front of you using things like Remotion. And we're at the very early stages of it. So, people will be building things with these for the next, however many decades. But where can you use your network, your insight, the problems you've experienced in your day-to-day life, and then start to build a product and these marketing automations with it? It's like, man, there's almost too many ideas that are possible than the time you have to execute, So that's why I feel like you got to not just toy around and say, okay, I need something to just summarize my emails for me. No, like be very intentional, don't fall into this sort of groupthink mindset right now. Really internalize and figure out, well, what's unique to me? What can I put in front of someone? And you've been doing this obviously in the world of football because you already know, hey, if I take an MVP of something that I can spit out using a 5-day sprint or whatever and get in front of someone I already know at a football club, that's like a perfect example. You're reverse engineering the demand, and where it sits, as opposed to, oh, this is a great idea, and now I'm going to have to go and find the customer, find the audience, find the CEO. Like that, I would really say, like, internalize it, find the things that already work, and then use these tools like this, man. Like, literally, it's a 1-minute setup to set this up, and if you're not using this, it's a joke.
Do you know what's also I'm quite excited to see the output of this, but we're very fortunate with the community. There's a continuous pattern of questions that happens, whether it's in our community or other community we've been inside of, which is people see what's possible. They get excited about it. They then spend either a little bit of time or a lot of time thinking about what they can build with it, because they've either got something in mind where they're like, cool, I can take action with this right away, or they struggle and they go, I see the potential, but I can't think in my head or come up with a creative idea of what to go and build. That's usually the kind of timeline. That's the pattern that usually occurs. And then we finally get to the big question, which is, okay, well, how do I sell it? How do I market it out? And it's in the most ironic way. If you are working right now within a corporation, a business, and you are using these AI tools, Omar, I sent you a post over the weekend, I know you saw, which was in the UK. Mark sent this to me, one of our members inside the community. Only 500,000, so 500,000 people have used Claude, used it, not use it daily, used it once. Like that is the numbers we're at right now, especially in the UK. So you think about the upside advantage you already have by just tapping into it, but let alone being inside of a workplace where you're like, I have got nothing to do. I'm in sales. I've got nothing to do with media over there or marketing over there. However, I know I've got a tool that takes me less than 5 minutes or 30 minutes to go and build out and execute, where I can just send them a quick email or just go and jump over their desk and just say to them, listen, this is what I've built. Here's what I think it could look like. And if the worst thing they say is no, because they don't like the first version, you can at least work with them to understand how it could be perfect to meet the brand's identity and the strategy of what it needs to look like going out to market. Then all of a sudden, you've just made yourself 10 times more valuable, because they see you as the AI guru, first of all, but they also see you as a multi-skilled person, because you're now using different assets and different skill sets away from just your aligned role inside the company. So that answers that kind of limiting belief, which is, okay, well, how do I go and sell it to someone? I've spoke to many people about this, which is when they say to me, oh, like, would you go and contact local businesses? No, just go and speak to friends and family first, understand exactly how they can help you, whether it's directly sell to them or directly they'll say to you, I know someone that can go and help you with this. It's a warm lead, if we go back to the sales analogy, right? But it's the easiest one to convert because there's a trust factor already built in. And once you build that mini case study portfolio of helping X, Y, and Z over a period of time, all of a sudden your blank website goes to 5 different logos that appear there, or 5 different case studies that then give you authority in the space. And it's just as simple as that whole process, where you just look within the 4 walls you're surrounded by to kind of offer that insurance to get these products built and shipped out.
Yeah. I was speaking to a friend of mine who's, these guys run a wildly successful agency. And he was saying, goes, dude, I've never opened ChatGPT. And that's such a weird thing to hear, because I haven't heard anyone say that, and he said, I've never even opened ChatGPT. And he had the idea for this new brand. And then he said, telling me about the logo vision. And, we used to work very closely together in terms of putting our ideas together, brainstorming. And I'll be sitting there on Figma and designing things. And we would just have these like long sessions in his house. And then I just sat on Gemini, I opened Gemini up, and I just quickly prompted the name of the brand and took a couple of references that he was showing on his phone, and it output a logo, which wasn't even anything spectacular, but he was so mind blown. He was like, telling everyone at the table, guys, look at this, like this logo, like that's about perfect. All right, if we just tweak this. And I was sitting there being like, this is like nothing, it's nothing. But the fact that even I was like, you need to use ChatGPT at the very least. But I think the greatest kind of learning from that was, to your point, so many people just haven't used these tools and don't understand them, but are, very successful in their own right, are doing great businesses that stand on their own feet. But you can add this AI element in interesting ways, open their eyes up to a whole new world. And, these type of people and companies, they have resources. And once they can appreciate, which AI speaks for itself, the value of these things, it's awesome, man. There'll be many examples like this, honestly. And I just do this type of stuff for fun. Like even my friends, I'm just sitting with them. Like I'll go out with my friends for dinner. I'll take my laptop and whatever. And one of them speaking to me about an idea. And I think I spoke to you a few weeks ago about one of these ideas. I won't share the idea, but it was around the avatar space.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I sat with him. Remember, I sat with him at dinner and just played around. Literally, within 1 hour, we connected up a few different APIs, build the thing that he was speaking of, and just playing around, man. He just turned up to my house yesterday. It was just like a Louis Vuitton gift, which
No
was
way.
insane. Yeah, just literally walked in the door, put a bag on my kitchen top, and he just got me like these lovely like Louis Vuitton shoes, just as like a thank you gift, just for sitting there with him for an hour. And I was like, man, I don't deserve this type of stuff because I haven't done anything, to be worthy of that. But it just goes to show, also again, like the value to people, of doing these things. That again, to us, when we know these things, we don't think anything of it, but the fact that he felt to say thank you and value that was like a lovely gesture from him. But, you just convert that into the real world and businesses, man. It just goes to show that the simplest type of things that you guys can pick up can make a world of difference to, your income, the value of providing to businesses. It really is remarkable, man.
Sounds like an incredible human, my man.
Nice. He's the best guy, man, honestly. And it's funny because when I came to Dubai, one of the things I would speak to my wife often about, I was like, as I was getting older, I was like, I want to, you have a different type of perspective on your friends. And as great as my friends are from day one, they're still my friends, but you don't necessarily make new friends because you're not in university or that type of environment anymore. And I work independently a lot, and so there are very few people that become new friends. You're one of them, as an example, and we've never met in person. We work virtually. But you want those type of relationships, and so it's so nice that when you get to meet people here that you just gel and connect with. It's so special, man. Especially as an adult.
That's touching. I love that.
So, all right, let's see what this thing spat out. So I also asked it, by the way, to go and find assets to say, like, use imagery, make it visual. So I have no idea what's going to look like. And this is only my second ever video made with Remotion, but you guys saw the prompt. Let's see what it did. Terrible. That's not the one.
It's on a different browser, I think.
Yeah. There. Hold on. No, it's still doing it in daily story. Wait. Let me just say to it. Hold on. Close this. Demos never work. Oh, there. It's asking you to open it. Cool. There we go.
Ah, that's why. This is the bit where we now have to go back into Cursor and say relaunch localhost or kill server because it's taking forever to load.
I'm going to say
This is the unfancy bit people don't recognize, which is, although it's so easy to build stuff, you spend more time having to go back and forth with Claude Code and Cursor and other different tools just saying, yeah, it sounds great, but can I see it now? It's like, yeah, re-show me it. Relaunch localhost.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I want to see it, man. Like, yeah. Make my eyes go crazy.
Yeah.
Which, let's see what it spits out. Yeah, because I've got another composition open, so I don't know if it was trying to... There you go. Open Pro Explainer. Okay. Wow, cool.
Oh, wow, hang on a sec.
Yeah. Dun. Oh. It's cool. So mad. 3 names, 3 weeks. Very chose OpenAI. Yeah, so it's like today's news. Becomes a foundation. Yep. There you go. When we can hack to the future of AI. But
right, can I just say one thing? That is mental for the amount of time we spent on that.
And no edits. Like, we haven't done anything yet. Like, I could say to it, condense it down to 15 seconds because that's the story length. I could say, for it to, we can do anything visually now. Like, we can really make it go even more crazy. We can add 11 labs to it to have a narration. But look at the assets. Like, it's pulled in the logo. It's made it the right color. It's done everything to fit within the style of what we're looking for. Just even things like this, like real information, timeline. But obviously, look, we're using a generic example like this of, but look, we can turn around and say,
can I pump an idea in?
Yeah. So I'm just going to show you one thing real quick is another problem. And again, this is me speaking from a perspective of us having these challenges with editing and putting together assets. You're always creating different compositions for different sizes, so you might want a story size, you might want a feed size, you might want a widescreen size. And this is where I feel like my mind is going a little bit wild right now. And I'll tell you quickly before you come up with the idea is in just a moment, it will create a landscape version of this exact video. So that's one thing it's doing right now. It'll put it together for us. We'll have that. Now, secondly, you can already think about the use cases of this training. Like you want to take documents, you want to feed it a PDF and say, hey, I want to go through training with a team, blah, 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 put it together, and it could put together a beautiful thing for you that you can use for training and whatever else you need in your companies. But then YouTube videos, these are programmatic YouTube videos. Like, like my kids play this thing called This or That. And on YouTube, it's constantly like, it's like AI house, 2 AI houses. And they just sit there with their friends and they're like, this one. And then it goes, ping, you guess correct. And it's just a video playing, but it feels like a game to them. And just this type of things, I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, you can just be running these faceless YouTube videos. By the way, you could literally just do a YouTube channel on, AI things to know, for example, that literally today, right now, this could be the video that goes out. So the same way I've shown you before, I have that one input shortcut on my phone. I can type in OpenClaw, OpenAI, hit go, and the output would be, this is crazy, Ollie. It would be a YouTube published video on that topic. Man, just insane, like.
The fact we don't edit these videos, by the way, Omar, like we don't edit.
Sorry?
So the fact we don't edit these videos means that this will stay in. But this is one of those ideas where it's like, had you have never said that and it was like you gatekeep that idea, you could ramp that idea up to the moon and just make a scary amount of money with faces. So anyone that is watching this video and sees it soon enough, please take action on that idea.
This is what I think about these type of recordings is you're seeing aha moments in real life. And I think some of the comments on my last YouTube video were about that. Someone said as well, like that moment when you actually, because it really is that, I'm experiencing it with you, and that's what makes it so cool. And you can't fake that. You know, it's
Yeah.
a if I could actually visualize the emotions and signals going inside my body at the same time, it would just be like everything would just be green and up to the right. So
Yeah, if we had a beats per minute tab in each of our
we
little
need to have
icons
we
there.
need to have a live heart rate monitor on our videos. That'd be really cool. We could probably vibe
That
code
would
that. But
be
all right, hit me with
so
your idea.
funny.
What were you saying
So
just now?
I was going to say that first version is great and it's exciting for us to get excited about. But then from a delivery point of view, which is it's good enough and polished enough to go online, an easy change is to go into it and say, okay, well, for Claudebot and also OpenAI, use their company's fonts for each of their pages. So, for example, I saw on OpenAI, the logo is perfect. And the colouring, actually, if you think about it, that probably shade of green is probably the exact same one they use. But when it comes to the font, it's the same font that goes throughout. So whether you as a brand have your own font that you want to use, or you want to go, no, we're going to use both of their independent ones at each different stage, then I think that's probably a cool little fix. Whether it can do that immediately or not, I'm pretty certain, knowing our capabilities, it probably could do. But
Yeah, absolutely.
it's something you can definitely work with to
Well,
keep increasing
Firecrawl has
that.
a whole brand fetch thing now, doesn't it? So in Firecrawl,
It does,
you
indeed.
have a brand scrape. What's it called? There's something that allows.
Yeah, it's the
Remember,
brand one.
there's something here that allows you to basically scrape like actual assets, like brand assets, which is really cool. And so yeah, you could do that easily. And I mean, none of this, like all of it, is just so possible. Just all right. Let's see widescreen version.
Oh, we've got the movie version.
It's a little bit off to the right, but never mind. So it seems the assets hasn't called properly, but again, these are easy fixes. But yeah, see, look, like imagine our presentation or a deck or whatever it might be they need to present, you know, and you can just put a video in front. Now, again, imagine this as a YouTube video. We add 11 Labs API key here. We get to generate audio and layer that in. Like, that would be crazy. In fact, let's do it. Why are we talking about it? Let me just.
Hang on, is it just updated the fact that Steinberg leads agents at OpenAI? So he's obviously, like, as of yesterday / today,
Yeah.
he's now joined OpenAI. So
Yeah.
the fact it's pulled that through as relevant data is also pretty insane, because we once lived at a time with. Do you remember once upon a time with OpenAI where you would say to it like, "Oh, what was the scores this weekend for football?" It's like, "Oh, I can't put anything up until the last 3 years." It's just like it's always pulling you like 2012 stuff.
Yeah. Remember when I was doing that? That was part of that post that went viral, right? That I think it was Matt, that dude that wrote it, which was saying like, you know, that's like ancient in AI terms. I'm just getting an API key for
Yeah,
11
wicked.
labs. That's why I'm just stop sharing my screen now. I'm going to go back in.
That will be really cool, by the way. Like the 11 Labs feature, which is finding a really cool voiceover, having it. And one of the really cool things about 11 Labs as well, if people don't know, you can add expressions into the voices. So
yeah,
you can write out the text. I think there's like an auto-generate button that will then read your text, evaluate what the expression would sound best as. So you can have like an upbeat cheer, or you can have like a little laugh, anything you want to add into it, which you can make it timely for these videos. So as Omar was talking about earlier, you have a YouTube idea where you want to go and create faceless content. You can't have like a monotone kind of news presenter voice over that kind of children's YouTube faceless show. So having that kind of perfect voice that you can find and then upgrade with expressions as well is going to be pretty valuable, right?
Yeah.
Even brand CEOs, right? Like if you run a marketing agency, or you run like any sort of offering, and like I said earlier, you remember the team and you go to the media team and the marketing team and say, listen, really cool animation feature that we can go and do. We haven't got to go and hire anyone anymore. I'll be honest with you, probably the best thing to do, if you can get the agreement with the CEO or the business owner, especially if they are a front-facing business owner. For example, as Stephen Bartlett of Diary CEO, we associate him as the face of the brand. If you have brands like that, you just go and ask them, can we go and clone your voice, for example, do that 15-second or 15-minute audio tape to clone it, add expressions in between it. It then becomes a really cool asset that you can just
I want to
post
do that
out
with my
into
voice
content.
as well. Like I definitely want to do a recording, just to have my voice in there and play around with that, like for content. But again, like, you know, part of the funnel, like this is what I also find interesting. We speak about all the time, the way we've iterated with the 5-day sprint is, you know, we can sit there and, like in most companies, by the way, ideas are cheap, meaning you can sit there and brainstorm anything in the world. We love execution. You know, we sit there beginning of January, we're like, okay, this is what we want to do by the end of January. We're going to launch 2 projects. We then want to we want to use those as a scaffold for the new 5-day sprint framework 2.0. We want to get feedback. we then want to introduce our ideas library, the email campaigns, the new framework, blah, blah. And that was actually, us shooting for maybe late Feb, March was almost us like trying to be a bit, conservative with timelines. And then, we overshoot them. We get it done in the first week of Feb because of how powerful it is to build with Claude Code. But it just goes to show that you can build so much quicker than you can sit there having weekly meetings over ideas, and it can be all fancy writing notes. There's not a single note that's written for the things that we come up with. We're just like, okay, makes sense, lock it in the brain. It's like the version of Jay-Z writing without a pen. Like we're not sitting there trying, we just want to execute. We want it executed. We want it released. And that's exactly how you can think about, all of these things. So now with marketing is how we're thinking about it. Okay, I've got my Instagram, excellent. We know that, stories work very effectively. We get, millions of impressions a month through stories. How can we drive a lot of that visibility to, our funnel? How can we get more people engaged? Because really, when I'm putting content up, yeah, people enjoy it and see it. But when I do ask people for their emails, we get their emails, which means we can then funnel them in, provide them more value. And again, that's the important thing here with marketing, is not to spam people and just to give them slop, and that's why I enjoy these tools, because if I was editing a video myself, it would come from an idea that I would deem valuable enough for me to sit there spending my time doing it. But if I can now have tools that I can leverage to put that stuff together as well, then it's the same thing, but just a lot faster, a lot more efficient, a lot more programmatic, which just means that, hey, we can do this stuff like, 10 times quicker than we used to. So I want to share my screen because it's going off and doing the 11 Lab stuff now. So
do you know, I've had there's a plugin you can do for HeyGen with this, by the way. I know there is.
Imagine, by the way, like someone on the side just like narrating.
Yeah, there is that. I know there is that. I know there is that because I've seen the plugin before. So you like that takes this to another level. So whether it's just audio over the top for 11 Labs, or you create your own AI avatar with HeyGen, whether it's you in particular that you create yourself, or you create like a perfect ICP demographic version of what your product needs to stand for. Of course, if your account's faceless, then you can have that person, whether it's in a box at the bottom, like the casual Instagram videos we see now that are doing really, really well, or whether it's a case of having it to the side, like as a deck overlay. We've spoken about it before, no? Like we've said about the idea of having interactive decks. Like you made that YouTube video, which is a great one, around how to go and build a business deck with just using Claude Code. And you think about how that version you did in that 1 hour video, the output's great. If you spend a day on it, it's going to be incredible. But then if you then have that avatar narrating it at the same time while speaking to the left-hand side of it, and if you send that to someone in their email and they open that and they see the level of detail that goes into that, knowing it's only taken you 30 seconds, but for them, it looks like it's taken you a lifetime to create, that's value exchange.
Dude, you know what? It's wild, because if I tell some of the stories of what we execute using AI, and again, we've said so many times about flipping the way everything you know about the world on its head. The stories are so hard to believe that it's just difficult to put into words, because when you say it, it sounds like fairy tale, right?
Yeah.
An example of this is with this whole deck situation. I'm sitting there one week, again, with the same friend, messing around, building out, a pitch deck, because that's what he was trying to do. And I was like, oh, maybe you could just a Claude Code. And this is around the time that Opus 4.5 came out. So it was new to me that I could even execute on that level, because it was just like a step change in December. Executed that, did a deck, great. That sat in my brain box somewhere, didn't do anything with it. Next thing, I'm sitting with someone who wanted to go for coffee with me about an idea he had. And I've sat with him and I've just put my phone voice note on record, put it on table. We sat there no more than about 20 minutes, had a chat. He's giving me his idea. We're just speaking about the vision, nothing commercial or anything. And then I walk away from that. I go home, upload that voice note. It takes that transcript. It takes my brand, puts together a deck immediately within about 2 hours. It only took 5 minutes to do that, but I couldn't send the deck immediately. I had to like wait a little bit. So I waited a little bit, sent the deck, and then close the deal there and then immediately, and this is a 6-figure deal, so 6-figure cash deal they're able to do just by recording your voice notes, doing the deck, sending it to the client's happy, deal done, away you go. Like, again, stories like that just don't sound real, but that happened. And there's constantly use cases like that I'm using in my day-to-day business that, again, I'm not building a software for it. I'm just using what's available, But again, it's very easy to go into these things and be like, okay, well, now I could create a pitch deck tool that allows people. No, there's just things that you can use as leverage yourself. that could just make your process a bit more efficient and easy, that end up leading to revenue anyway. Like if I was to build out into a product and try and get people on $20 a month subscription, it'll take forever to get that to those type of numbers. But I've used that same skill set, but to convert in a different way as a higher ticket item. So, okay, let's see if it's, there you go. All right. Oh, 1 minute. So silly. All right. What's the time code? 35. See, this is why we can't live stream. People just.
I take it back. We might as well do it a little bit. That's too funny.
API key exposed. So
yeah. We leave this bit in though. Leave this bit so just for validation, everyone knows we spoke about these unedited videos. We've just accidentally exposed the API key.
So funny. All right, I think I might need to share my screen again to get the audio to pick up. 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah, share audio. Okay, let's see. I can't see any audio on the timeline, so let's see what's going on. Let me just read it quick. What did it say? Preview URL. The voice is George. All right, cool. Conclusion. So should it be on there? I can't hear anything yet. I can't hear audio from the ReadMotion link.
I would have thought logically a audio file would drop underneath each of those boxes, but having never used this before, it's interesting to understand how this will actually look as an overlay.
Well, what's interesting is look at how he did it. It split it up into hook, creator. So it split it up based on probably like the timeline as well. So then it can even edit chopped up rather than one long sequence, which is really cool. So, okay, it's just checking for us. Let's find out version mismatch. Okay.
Would it be on the other version? The I'm guessing like the Instagram story rather than ratio.
No, it should just work live regardless. He said it's on both of them, but I can't see on either. And I can see the assets there. So look, you can see voiceover. The data's here. So probably just need to add like a timeline row here. I've not done audio before, so this is a new zone for us. But yeah, man, like just live information. I think the most interesting thing here I can see being an interesting use case for two things. One is, and maybe you can compound both of these. One is like live information, such as live news, translating that to something that can be media for your Instagram channels, your reels, your stories, even YouTube, which I think could just be like a killer by itself in your industry. But then you could even think about specific niches, right? Like you could take the pregnancy market as an example, niches that don't have that AI bias. So if you to create an AI news channel, for argument's sake, but they're almost like AI generated video, it doesn't mean they can't do well, but like everyone, like, interpreting content with is this AI first type of mindset. Whereas you go into industries or niches that, just the information itself is valuable. Could you do a voiceover of like, how to sleep train your child using the Ferber method, for example, and that be a video that is very specific, but like, can really work well with different YouTube search intents. And I mean, again, like much like we've been doing with SEO with Google, YouTube is of course the biggest search engine. I think probably even, bigger, if not, akin to Google. So it's a very interesting space just to build out in, and using ReadMotion to do it could be, I think doing explainer videos is almost like low level in comparison.
Totally. It's the barrier of entry. It's definitely the barrier of entry for it.
It also shows you the importance of taste and being able to articulate that taste and your vision palette. Like how can you see something that can look like it's not generated by AI and understand how to utilize AI, not for it to do the creative aspect all the way, but for it to actually just put together, the actual work for you. Okay.
Hey, there we go.
Well, we see one here.
It's now pumping in.
Right. Can you hear this? You can't hear the audio?
No, but it's probably not a bad thing because it probably means that you can at least hear it. So the audience can.
But we need to make sure everyone's hearing. Let's see. Stop sharing. Share screen. Also share tab audio. Oh, I think you might. Got it. All right. Should be good now.
Right, here we go.
1 hour.
Hear that?
Yeah.
One project.
Oh my God. Let me take a sip of water for this.
Yeah. Take some the caffeine hitting moments. Need some caffeine in.
Swear, if I could swear, there's only one word I'm going to say.
Yeah. Keep
And it's
PG.
4 letters.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 hour, one project. Everything changed. Peter Steinberger, 13 years at PSPDF Kit, built OpenClaw in 1 hour. An AI that runs on your machine, open source, always on. 196,000 stars, 2 million visitors, 9 YC startups. 3 names, 3 weeks, crypto scams, 42,000 exposed. February 14th, Steinberger joins OpenAI, Altman calls him a genius. OpenClaw becomes a foundation, open source forever, backed by OpenAI. From weekend hack to the future of AI. 1 hour, one
Dude.
Do you know what you could sprinkle over the top of that with, by the way? I'm
Sound
already
effects?
thinking about the next bit.
What's that?
If you built a Claude Skills that took the concept of what you're building and wrote a script for it and then gave that to 11 Labs, it wouldn't then, of course, like at the minute in time, the way that the audio is being transcribed right now is it's going, okay, what's the information that's present on this skill, on this page right now, and then it's reading it word for word. But of course, if that's got to go out development stage, go out as in like it's going to go for a social post, it needs to have a bit of hook, story, close kind of action that most Instagram stories or YouTube videos are built up on. So building a Claude Skills where you're like your remotion Claude Skills, every single time you do it, you basically just put in your idea, it gives you the output, which is the 3-second hook, the story of what it's going to then compile with, and then the finish based upon that tech stuff that it builds
Yes.
for you.
I mean, you could even go and, take best practices of like, things that work really well and reverse engineer them.
What's the next thing we've asked here?
I'm trying to find the most polite word, and the only one I come up with is "dearie me."
yeah, that'll do.
So British. Give me a scone.
Yeah, that is a very British word.
Give me a scone and some cream.
Deary me.
Goodness. Oh man, damn.
I wasn't quite ready for that, I'll be honest with you. Well, I wasn't ready for that. I mean, what are we now, 41 minutes into recording? I wasn't quite ready for it 41 minits ago because you didn't tell me that this was going to be the vision, which is insane.
Show it to you for 5 minutes and move on. I didn't know we'd be stuck on this iterating, but I'm done with it. Oh my goodness. All that's going to my head is like the infinite amount of use cases, movie reviews and like, especially taking assets like what you were saying.
Let's bring it home. Let's bring it home to Guilty Chef, right? This is a prime example of how Guilty Chef can work. So you can have food reviews through Guilty Chef now, but in the sense of like, so the money-making food reviews come through having UGC people that are already doing that kind of stuff online. So they help build up the marketing assets and bring attention towards Guilty Chef. But the way to get quick wins through increased social posts and more performance is by using this. Hands down, it's got to be this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like recipes.
Yeah.
Frustrating for me a little bit with Guilty Chef because like Ramadan basically starts like in the next couple of days. And normally every year I've got like a launch for that, but I've been so consumed with these other things that we've been doing that I haven't had anything ready. But that's a good example of something like daily recipes. Nano Banana generate the assets. Every single thing has a picture of the step, description, voiceover saying first do this, next do this, of course you could take it a step further and turn it into, cling video as well. So every recipe a day, that's like, yeah, man, just trying not to use bad words here.
But
no,
that's
honestly, man, I'm so mind blown.
Everyone's seeing how our brain works. Like our classic Monday meetings, or like even just speaking through the week, something will drop and it'll either be like a flop for us, or we're like, oh no, we've got intent here to build something. Whereas you're seeing us now just talking through the process that goes in our head, which is, okay, the idea is cool, but how do we make it come to life and be purposeful?
Sound effects. Here we go.
Okay.
1 hour, one project. Everything changed. Peter Steinberger, 13 years at PSPDF Kit, built OpenClaw in 1 hour. An AI that runs on your machine, open source, always on. 196,000 stars, 2 million visitors, 9 YC startups. 3 names, 3 weeks, crypto scams, 42,000 exposed. February 14th, Steinberger joins OpenAI. Altman calls him a genius. OpenClaw becomes a foundation, open source forever, backed by OpenAI. From weekend hack to the future of AI. 1 hour, one
This
project.
dude is so cool that he does that. Oh my god! I
we
don't
were
even
we
like.
were cooking until he dropped the frying pan on the floor.
Yeah, that was a loud one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm almost trying to think like what's an even better example that we could draw. So okay, so obviously narration, sound effects, real time news content, brilliant.
I really don't know what else you can do to this kind of stuff. Apart from,
Okay, I'm gonna do something.
yeah, I'm excited to hear. I'm excited to see what you think about here. My
Okay.
immediate brain when I think of what you as Omar can do with this kind of stuff.
Well, I'm gonna do something now. I'm gonna say, okay, let's start a completely new composition
Nice.
based on the project we're currently in for 5-day sprint. I want you to I want you to use Playwright to get screen recordings, screenshots of our website, 5daysprint.com. Starting from homepage, user clicking, start building, and going through the workflow on new page. Put in tell us information. And an explainer video that breaks down how it all works. Again, using 11 Labs intelligently. Some of your sound effects were a bit whack. Make sure it makes sense. And use a friendlier female voice with expressions. So create your prompt accordingly. Make it beautiful using my design style. And then show the explainer video with actual screen recordings.
Omar, can we try something on the end of this?
Yeah.
Obviously, the way that Curse is built, we can't go back naturally. Can you put somewhere there, so almost like a news present, like mid 20s or early 20s?
You can go back.
Oh, wicked. Okay, wicked. Wherever the
Yeah.
11 Labs female bit is, we almost like,
Yeah.
can we try and like ask it here and then? Can it do like a female 20s news presenter audio? This is basically going to be like a live demo, right? Almost. Or 5-day sprint.
Yeah, but so now the thing I was trying to lay up onto this is, can it use? I've done again. None of this I've done before. So can it do screen recordings? I know Playwright enables you to do that. So look, Playwright is opening up now, and you can use your browser. So what I'm trying to figure out is, can it screen record or something and turn that into part of the visual? You know, so can we actually get real product demos as well, which would be interesting. So what does that look like? So yeah. Okay, let's see what it does. Man. Yeah. Wow.
I'm somehow speechless.
You know what? Oh God, go away. I was gonna say even things like just my previous video, I did this thing which was manual for everything, which was like, you know, type in a thing, have none of generate your PDF to give you basically like when your grandma asks you how to change a TV channel, doesn't know how to use a remote, you know, create a document for everything. Could it, I suppose, like even things like that, like, you know, taking documentation, IKEA is a great example, you know, could you feed it every IKEA manual and then it take that, because that's probably available, and turn that into video? So like you actually have somewhere to not just read the paper, but actually see there's things broken down step by step into, and then plug in, like we're saying, like what are the video models that we use? I'm trying to think. What do we normally use? Is it?
Well, there's VO, there's Kling, there's a new one called Sea Dream, which just come out.
Sea Dance.
Sedan,
Yeah.
sorry, Sedan. By the way, it's crazy you said that because I was literally typing on my notes as you were speaking IKEA flat pack. I literally left it in there as notes to come back to later on.
So while it's doing that, let's try and see if we can finish this video on like a super high. I'm just gonna get my API key.
The more I think about this process, the more it feels. We go back to your YouTube video nearly a year ago where we got Claude to create the script. We then got, I don't know what image model we would use at the time, but do you remember that it was that video you had where like the child spilt coffee or spilt stuff on their t-shirt and then they had to like go and evaporate it using like washing soap. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Like that was the old version of this,
Yeah.
where
It
you'd have to
was.
create individual image assets to then then put into CapCut to then turn it into a video concept. Now it
Man.
happens in 30 seconds.
We're gonna try something with the video in a minute.
This video is the most unexplainable one because this was meant to be a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't even know how to clip this. I don't know how to
I think we let it just
title
run.
this. Like, what do you know what I mean? What do you even call the title of this video? Like, I feel like any video we do, hard to title them because how do you summarize the wowness, in a simple title, silly. Oh, it's crazy because most YouTube videos, it's like you have to find the hook or like the clickbait. But it's almost like the clickbait is all in the video. It's not even in
Yeah.
or like the title. Almost no matter how clickbait you made it, it's still not as good enough as the actual video like content. Oh man!
I hope all the
Let's
members
see.
inside the community, when they get to watch this video, they instantly just think to themselves, like this is a perfect way for them to start getting some social content out there.
Yeah,
In fact,
absolutely.
I have a call directly after this recording with one of our members, and my promise to everyone watching this video is I'm gonna work with him to quickly create something that's gonna look quite cool for this. I love IKEA, man. This is insane.
Yeah, it's so good. Okay, let's go shopping. Let's go like a desk.
They have got. I saw something that blew up on X the other day. They've got this like children's light that's like shaped in a giraffe. I think it was actually on that main page when we were just there a second ago, but it was like in the form of a blue pig or something. That'd be cool to
Blue
make
pig?
stuff over. If you know that page you were just on a second ago?
Yeah. 1 minute.
Oh no way.
Yeah, go on. One before.
Back one more. And again. That there. It's like that little blue thing there, sorry. It's not a pig, it's a little rabbit. But they've got one which is a giraffe that's like a overstanding over your bed kind of one.
That's cool. This is cool as well. Huh? That's fun.
Yeah.
Redesign the kid's room. Oh yeah, that.
Are we really? There you go. Yeah, that's the one. Are we really about to then go and DM IKEA and say we just made you a bunch of QRs for your flat packs?
Oh my god! But the funniest way to DM IKEA would be to like not actually give them the product, just give them instructions on how to get the product. So
just made you a 42-page manual on how you go, mate, how you use your motion.
Yeah.
Enjoy that one, lads.
Oh my days. Okay, I'm really curious to see what it does with screenshots and stuff. Oh, just brain is hurting. Okay, actually, we can probably get it to do 2 videos for us at once. So let's open up another Claude instance. Say using remotion. You can look at as reference for how we use 11 labs, etc.
Anyone that's still watching this, fair play, by the way, because our brain's all over the place. We're making 3 things at once. We're doing everything. So if you can concentrate on this video, fair play to you.
For IKEA products with 11 labs audio overlay. I'm going to give you a PDF. Need you to extract the relevant images, parts, steps, then let's see. Yeah, then use CDance where file AI API key in local to turn it into an explainer video with actual videos from the IKEA assembly instructions that show how it's built. Make sure it's accurate, write prompts carefully, do additional research if you need to, use real assets and imagery, make it stunning. Yeah, whatever, I don't know. Let's see what it does. Okay, so this one's still going on. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, that was that, and then there was another one that we could do as well. So let's say, what's this dead one? Yeah, let's just do this here. Use Remotion to generate a recipe video for me. Look at as reference about how we use 11 Labs audio and sound effects. Make it a friendly, warm, female voiceover explaining a recipe. You will create a recipe for KFC chicken. Use Nano Banana to generate images, then CDance to turn them into video.
Is CDance out yet?
Yeah, this is still V1, I think I'm using here, but it's fine. We'll just test it with you. I think there's a V2 as well, the new one. For Nano Banana, use File AI as well. API key in the local. Yeah, break the recipe down.
By the
Make it
your
beautiful.
message here or your prompt reminds me of the first time you show someone how ChatGPT works, and they then go, "Oh, can it go and do this?" and they end up putting their whole job description into the thing with all the tools they use and say, "Like, on, off you go, click the red button to make it work."
Oh my god. Where we at? 11 Labs. While that generates and build a composition. Okay, audio generating.
Which one's this for again?
Yeah, I'm gonna rename them. So here we've got making me think.
OpenClaw?
No, 5DS explainer.
Oh yeah.
That was OpenClaw one as well. Yeah. This one is recipe, and this one is IKEA. So, by the way,
really
what's
excited
cool
for the
is
IKEA
you can
one.
literally do multiple at once. You know the way people use multiple terminals at once. You can have multiple videos being generated at once as well. We're doing so many different concepts at the same time. So you know. Okay, so this one we're waiting for it to build a composition, and it's generating audio in the background. This one is examining just the patterns and stuff. Great. And this one is reading the PDF and understanding more about the IKEA product to then go and create the video for us. So let's see what they come out with.
With the IKEA PDF, did you just drag and drop that into the terminal chat? Did you upload it into your Finder?
I just gave it the link.
Cool.
Because you can do the link because you can download it yourself and fetch it. See?
Yeah.
You don't have to give it to it. Okay, so cool.
So over the weekend, this is a bit of a side note, and I want to link it back into this. I discovered that Manus AI has created their own AI agents that you can use in Telegram. So you know the way that OpenClaw works?
Yeah.
Manus has done the exact same thing pretty much, but of course under the name Manus and Meta. Now Meta have bought Manus out. I discovered that you can upload API keys into Manus's AI and it can go and action stuff for you. So the same way that OpenClaw works, right? So that's kind of like, I'm thinking here, like in a weird way, like I wonder if there's a like a world between two here where you just go on Telegram, you just type out, go and create me a promo video for 5DS,
Absolutely,
give it the API keys, and it goes to Remotion, and then goes and creates the whole thing for you.
100%, 100%. All of that stuff's like possible, man. Just this is, it comes back to that point I think I was making before we joined the call around this world of agents and like UI UX. Because at the moment, even like OpenClaw, obviously people are using it through Telegram or whatever, and there's a little bit of like sort of, I don't know what is obscurity, but like, you know, things happen that you don't really have full visibility over. It's just going ahead and getting a task done. But what I find with the way I use Claude Code to build out effectively agents, which is essentially what you're saying is like a pipeline of tasks that are happening, right? Like if you go and say to OpenClaw, I don't know, go and, you know, read and summarize my emails as an example. It is using tools that are readily available to go into your inbox, maybe using an API key to read your emails, use another API key for Claude to be able to transcribe them or, you know, break them down, summarize them, etc. But then it's again, like maybe then taking Claude and synthesizing everything, giving you a summary that's sent back to you via Telegram's API into your chat, right? So that's an example of like a chain of command that's going on. And I think a lot of what we try and show in 5-Day Sprint is how to build those chains of command, right? Because if you understand those from a first principles perspective and from a foundation level, you're then able to see everything in terms of a pipeline, and that allows you to really solve interesting business challenges for any type of company, right? Like you can go out there and say to a company that, oh, you're dealing with, you know, this challenge over here. Well, if I then took this API, plugged it in with this API, and then had like the chain of things going on, what would that look like? And that's sort of why the new 5-Day Sprint system is so cool, because I'll just take a random example of a project, you know, let's do Guidely. It recommends different, again, API keys. It's fine, you can't see her API keys, that's okay. But it recommends the API services you should be using for your idea. And then you can build out your pipeline accordingly. So that visibility of like, you know, what is the idea I'm building? What are the specific tools? It does all that research for you, gives you that guidance. Then you can just plug in the keys you need and then run this command and it just builds it out for you. And so it's a specialized agent in a way for a specific task or operational you want to do. And that immediately becomes a product that you can then go and actually sell, as opposed to just an agent you're running on Telegram. But effectively does the same thing by in a specialized department. But then the way the UX conversation comes into this is there is I'm doing it in a way myself right now where, you know, we see each step of a process happening. I can give you guys a little bit of an example here. If I want to add a new glossary element, for example, to 5-Day Sprint, you know, I add an input such as a glossary term that I want to add. So is there a new one that we might want to, let's say, or something that we might not have, anything new?
Seedream or whatever it's called?
No, I got that. Oh, it is Seedream, not Sea Dance. Is it Seedream?
No, I think Sea Dance is Sea Dance 2.0. No, you're right.
Yeah, Sea Dance. Okay.
Seedream's the image model, I think.
Yeah. So let's say because we've got so many terms already in there. What's something that we don't have? We have man. I don't think we have manners actually.
Yeah, Manus. Let's go.
Oh, we do.
We do.
Have
Have we got remotion?
No. Great.
Yeah, it's timely.
Right on, Brad. All right, remotion. So I hit that as a keyword and I hit run. Now you will see it's effectively an agent going off, and there's 2 steps here, but some of the processes I run have like 10 steps. It's going to do the research on the topic and there's writing the content. So one of them's using Firecrawl, one of them's using Claude to write the content, Anthropic's API key. So it's really as simple as that. So just like 2 steps happening here. It's the simplest version of this, but this is the UX kind of conversation here. Like I use it like this. Maybe this is a beautiful way of doing it already, but I can see a world in which anyone instantly that's done. So like click view now, page is designed and ready for us. Lose that content listed on my site. I keep pressing the wrong buttons. SEO programmatically done. The schema's already in there. It did all of that in a split second before I've even been able to finish my sentence. You know, so you can now imagine like pages of content you can create for your site just based off a template you've already designed can just be stunning and beautiful and be valuable for your own project. But this is a small example of like content creation. Now we're talking about doing this across video creation, which can again do a similar type of process. Research the content, write the recipe, send it through Nano Banana, create the image, send it through Sea Dance, create the video, go through 11 Labs, create the audio, stitch it all together. And that's an example of something that you can have that will again be like a series of changes like this. You know, every single step would be a different, you know, green icon in effect. that's how you want to be thinking about these systems. And what it allows you to do is then control each part of the output, right? So then when you get an output, it's like, you know what you're going to get. You know the style of the page, you know where the content's going to go. It's all structured in a way that works for your specific project. And again, you can do this with videos, like we're saying. So it's just the same type of mindset in terms of spending some time, same way you do with Claude Code in plan mode, articulating. Even what I'm doing right now with the videos, I'm just sort of like prompting it very raw, but what I would normally do is really structure it and understand it and then build it out and then have it, put together the content for me and then make sure it runs in like a streamlined pipeline so that I can scale this content over time with a single input, like I just did with the glossary. I put in one word, it created this huge output for me. And that's the theme that we always speak about: minimum input, maximum output. So could I do that with a video? Can I say, I don't know, Pizza Hut pepperoni pizza, and just hit enter, and then everything else just happens? The output is a published video on YouTube or from my Instagram stories or feed or whatever it might be. And absolutely possible. And that type of stuff can be done within a couple of hours now. But those are versions of agents. And I think like a beautiful interface and experience to do that is where it gets interesting. But because there's so many ways to do it, the only thing that comes to my mind is sort of like a node-based experience. But still, I feel like feels too technical. Like what is, well, the reason I think so many people speaking about OpenClaw doing so well as well is because people are looking for that one thing that does everything. It's like, what is that one AI that does everything more than me just talking to ChatGPT in a conversation, but actually taking actions, and they're seeking that. But you can build all of this stuff yourself like this using Claude Code and very purposefully. So that's something that I'm definitely, curious about, but haven't quite, sussed yet. All right. So how's IKEA getting on? What's going on? This one's nearly done. Okay. I think we got the 5-day sprint one ready. There you go. Studio started. He keeps opening up this one, I think, as a default one. Just need to give me the right link. It would be 5DS Explainer, actually. I'll strip myself. Oh, here. 5DS Explainer. There you go. Wide. Oh my God, let's see what's happening.
Whoa.
What if you could turn any idea into a real...
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
What if you could turn any idea into a real AI business in just 5 days?
What if you could turn
The old
any
way?
idea into a real
$150,000
in just
and months
5
of waiting.
days?
The
The
new
old
way?
way?
Under 500, just type your idea.
$150,000 and months of waiting.
AI researches your
The new
market,
way? Under
validates the
500, just
concept,
type
and
your
builds out
idea.
your features and tech
AI
stack out of
researches your
then copy
market,
one single
validates the
command,
concept,
paste
and
it into
builds out your
Cursor,
features
and
and
watch your
tech stack
entire
out of-
project
then copy
scaffold
one
in
single
30 seconds.
command,
Now, talk
paste
to
it
Claude
into
Code in
Cursor,
plain
and
English.
watch your entire
Describe what you
project
want.
scaffold in
Watch
30
it build your
seconds. Now,
project,
talk to
feature by
Claude Code in
feature in
plain
real
English.
time. You get a
Describe what you
complete
want.
AI
Watch
business.
it build your project
Market
feature by
research,
feature in real time.
features,
You get a
tech
complete
stack,
AI business.
teams at Uber,
Market
IKEA,
research,
Duolingo,
features,
and the
tech stack,
NHS already
teams at
your
Uber,
idea deserves to
IKEA,
exist.
Duolingo,
Start building
and the
today at
NHS
5. What
already
if you could
your
turn...
idea
Yeah,
deserves
so obviously
to
there's an audio
exist.
timing thing
Start
here,
building
but
today
in general,
at
it's been able to take
5. What if you
screenshots
could
of the
turn-
site. It didn't do the screen recordings the way we wanted to, but it still created its own UI, which we can also, now we can go and just layer in, make it our own. But it's explainer video that you can start with, right?
That's insane.
Cool. And did a story version as well.
What if you could turn $50,000 in month? AI researches your market,
Yeah.
validates the
What if
concept,
you could
and
turn
builds out your
$50,000
features and
in
tech
month?
stack
AI
out of
researches your
then copy
market,
one single
validates
command.
the concept, and
But yeah,
builds
so
out your
scaffolding is
features
all
and
there.
tech
It's now
stack
about
out of then
refining, which you
copy
can do, of
one
course, with your
single
videos,
command.
because it's still giving us AI sloppy type of output. Now let's see, where else we got? Recipe, new done, IKEA. Okay, let's see.
I was
where
just
else we
taking notes whilst that was going through on my phone of like different areas where I think this can improve itself massively. I mean, we are quite literally looking at the first/second version of this. In the sense, for me, first version of seeing how this whole unfolds, and for you, the first version for you was an hour before this call. The immediate things just seem to be, if you can get the text to copy in the same font style that you want, massive
Yeah.
green tick.
Oh, yeah.
Second one is if you can speak to it in detail, whether those time frames are set in stone. But you know that second clip, like it was almost like it was trying to finish its sentence, but then got cut off
Yep.
by the next clip. It's almost like you can get it to start reworking itself to almost be like,
Yep.
allow each of those to work in the same fashion that they would do, i.e., when the sentence finishes, clip finishes. So you then have those time overlays to match them effectively.
Well,
And I think yeah, definitely. And I think the only other one apart from those two is the sound effects, which
yeah.
That's the bit in my head which my limited knowledge doesn't stretch too far with understanding certain sites that go for sound effects, but maybe you can kind of keep it in a certain tone maybe is the right word to use.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know, but like it's having it so it sounds really familiar in the same way the language sounds familiar, the product looks familiar, etc. Rather than having
Yes.
like
Yes.
loud expressive tones, then dull kind of ones that kind of drop in between.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree. But again, that all of that, exactly what you're saying is that iterative process, you know, and why I think like you want to have a use case that you refine so then you have a template, you know, like you can then say, okay, well, this is set now. I know this is my theme, this is my style. You can create a Claude skill around the design. Is like everything's always a yes, you know, everything. And that's the importance, I think, like of just letting an AI go off, because when an AI just goes off and does its thing, you see the type of output it gives you. It can get close to what you want. But again, like the vision in your mind is your vision, and you need to curate that. You need to tell it and guide it. And then you set that up. And once you've got that set up is when you then dial it up and scale. And again, when you have the minimum input, maximum output type of thing going on, you know, because then you can do it for once you get first recipe video might not be perfect. But then as we start to refine the template, I'm happy with it. Okay, this is set now. Now, anytime I give you a name of a dish, do this again, do this again, do this again. And so it'll be the right template every time.
Or every single time you create a new page on your directory or website, a plugin then or a trigger that happens, which then goes and creates a video for you.
Yeah, exactly. Everything can be automated. It can be completely automatic. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Everything's always a yes. There's the title. That's a great way of putting it. Everything is always a yes when it comes to AI. It's impossible for it to not be.
Oh, dude, man. Okay.
So we're waiting on recipe and IKEA, right? And
Yeah,
we're expecting the flat pack one to turn into a video, and the recipe
one is right now is doing generating videos with Dance. It's done the sound effects already. And so we need to see still generating the first video. So let's see what it does. And then IKEA. So obviously they are quite big tasks, because like with IKEA one, it said it needs to go through all the images and then let's see what it's doing. Yeah, because it asked me to compact, but then but by the way, this is how I normally work too, is I go completely out there in terms of my requests, is keep it so broad, and I see the process working to understand its challenges, you know, where I might get confused. No, the IKEA one is what we're working on. Do you understand the task? And then I start to understand, okay, how do so I'll just throw the PDF into it, you know, okay, the images are big. Okay, how does that work? Blah, blah, blah. You know, what do we do next time? Do we compress PDF first? Do we give it images first or whatever? You know, so it's gonna figure it out. So we'll let it go. Cool. What's happening here? I don't know how many credits I'm burning right now, but hey. Charge to the game. All right.
that is
cool.
the saying. Charge it to the game.
So yeah, it knows what it needs to do.
I might play around with the idea to see if you can give it a long form. So going back to the Manus AI, only because I haven't used Claude, but Manus AI, you upload a video and it auto transcribes it for you, so you haven't got to go for like a transcription tool, which is quite cool. Yeah. I wonder if, like, with this process of remotion, you can upload a long form piece of content and ask it to clip up for you, so you can get your little short video or you can get your reels. I wonder if there's like a world where it takes those existing video assets inside of that video and compiles it together. I can't imagine it can do that, because I think everyone will be screaming from the rooftops right now.
What specifically?
So let's say we put out this video today, and you wanted to go and create an Instagram reel, which was like the top 5 clickable moments of this video, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would then the task for remotion would be, okay, here are the 5 timestamps of this video, or maybe you could go and identify them for themselves. Who knows? Go and extract those and build them into a 30-second viral reel for us.
Yeah, can absolutely do that. By the way, like 100%. I built something similar before called Clipman, like a tool for myself, which could already take a video and clip it down and find interesting points, because you use FFmpeg library to do that. But yeah, you could like take that. Okay, what do you need from me to make this easier?
We asked a bit too much of
You're
this.
struggling with about the images. An image in the conversation exceeds that. You keep saying the same thing. So is it just stuck on that loop? Yeah. All right. Let's screw the IKEA one for a minute. Let's just do the video, this one, because it feels like it's stuck at like, you know, getting all the images from PDF, which it could do. I probably need to go in and give it every single step as an image myself.
Well, once we get IKEA working, we can show it as an end result inside the video.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big build as well. We should have done something simple like
It's a big build, yeah.
Let's do kids ones are easy, aren't they? Use remotion with 11 labs to pray and explain a video for this IKEA product assembly.
Cool, Jez.
Yeah. So where's the instructions? They don't have it here somewhere, don't they? Oh, here.
I don't think there is any instructions for this one. Is there?
There you go. Yep.
Wicked.
So what I'm going to do is, it's a bit easier. I'm just going to take screenshots.
Nice.
On the manual, use Nano Banana to generate images and seedant and for the videos from those images. Be very specific with your prompts. Use File AI API key local. Make sure you use correct info for this product from IKEA. Yeah, whatever. Let's see what it does. Okay. What's this boy doing? Okay. Generous video. Okay. First. Cool. You know when you overshoot and then it just takes so much time to generate everything.
I was literally just about to say, I may have to go back on our thing. We may have to edit some of this out. Some of this dead space.
No, it's good though because you can just test the waters here. So I mean, I really want to see a video version of this. I want to see, you know, what happens. Just ask it, how are we getting on?
I think what makes most sense for people if they want to go for the original flat pack version, which is like a 42-page document, is to break it down into 4 stages. So do the image or take images of each of those pages inside of IKEA, but do it like 4 or 5 pages at a time, upload it, get to the first version, then cool, add the next layer into it, next layer.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Okay, ready.
Oh, have we got something?
Apparently.
Let's go.
Okay, by the way, I think on the 5-day sprint explainer, it did adjust the audios, apparently.
The old way? $150,000 in months of waiting. The new way?
The old
Under
way?
$500.
$150,000 in months of
Yeah,
waiting.
so I adjusted it now.
The new way?
Just type
Under
your
500
idea.
Yeah,
bucks.
nice.
5
AI
days.
research.
Cool. All right, recipes.
Just
Let's
type
go.
your idea. AI research
Want crispy, juicy, fingerless, and good fried chicken at home? Let me show you the secret KFC. You'll need chicken pieces, buttermilk, flour, and the secret blend. Paprika, garlic salt, onion powder. First, soak your chicken in seasoned buttermilk. Add a tablespoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. Now mix 2 cups of flour with all 11 spices, 1 tablespoon of each. This is where the magic. Take each piece from the buttermilk. Let the 11 spices, 1 tablespoon of each. This is where
Did you get like I don't know if it's my audio or not. Did you get like a dual audio?
No. Make sure. I don't think so. I'll check again though. Make sure audio runs fully. It cuts off this scene before audio has finished. Let's get to fix that. Hey, where did it go?
It's hilarious though. Like even from just like
no,
a visual point of view.
First of all, it's mind blown that he did that. Like he actually created the video with the steps, like with the refinement where you can put it in like its own card, the video, and have the steps beautifully below it, a bit like text like this. So you can make it clean and crispy. Excuse the pun. Right.
That's awful.
Load the studio again.
Here we go.
Okay, recipes. Let's do story version.
Want crispy, juicy chicken pieces, buttered powder. First, soak your chicken in seasoned buttermilk. Add a tablespoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. Refrigerate for at least 4 hours or overnight for the juiciest results. Add a tablespoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. Now mix 2 cups of flour with all 11 for at least spices, 4 hours 1 tablespoon of each. This is where the magic happens. Now mix 2 cups of flour. Take each piece from the buttermilk. Let the excess drip off, then press firmly into the flour. For extra crunch, dip back in the buttermilk and coat again. Let the excess drip off, then press firmly into the flour. Gently lower each piece in and fry for 12 to 14 minutes, turning halfway. Heat your oil to deep golden brown. Gently lower each piece in. Rest on a wire rack for 5 to 14 minutes. This keeps every bite extra crispy, then plate up and enjoy. Rest on a wire
Restaurant
rack
quality
for 5
fried
minutes.
chicken
This
made
keeps
right at
every
home.
bite extra
Follow
crispy,
for more
then
secret
plate up and
recipes.
enjoy.
That is clean, man. In terms
Restaurant
of like
quality
consistency,
fried
what I
chicken
would do
made
things.
right at
So
home.
how I'd improve
Follow
it
for
is
more secret
so
recipes.
I'll go really granular into the thinking behind each step and the prompting. So I would do things like, write the step, then write the image prompt to ensure that it uses the right type of utensils, because obviously it should be like probably a proper fryer with the right level of oil, etc. Make sure it's realistic, etc. Maybe even have a feedback loop for it to generate the image, have Claude analyze the image, check it's happy with the image and it matches the step, then pass it on to the video model. So these are type of things, again, like that agentic type of process I was explaining, is I'd create a feedback loop within it, which would be worthwhile, because even if it takes an extra couple minutes to generate the video, at least we know we have a surefire result at the end. And then, yeah, like you could clean this up with design. You can make it so just small example. I would say, put each
another thing,
video
Omar.
Yeah.
Each video model has the ability to do a 5 or 10-second video clip. So what you probably should do as well, because what we found with when it was dipping it into the buttermilk, it probably repeats itself 3 times.
Yes.
Because it's probably a 5-second clip when actually it was a 12-second audio. So you almost want it to be like in that prompting stage that you're talking about there. You want to also say to Claude, for each audio, make sure it's transparent with the video, the visual effect. So it matches
slow it
the same
down.
time
Basically,
frame.
slow it down if you need to effectively. So make sure.
Totally,
So I'm gonna get it to now just rewrite the. So I said Apple style design for the text, and then see if you can put the video bit in like a little sort of card here. So it looks a bit like a step, and you can see the text more cleanly.
You can also, do you know what you also can do as well for like people that if you are watching and you are in the cooking world of such, you can get it to have a consistent background each time. And that, again, is just another prompt. Like, if you like that kitchen layout there, or you have your own one at home and you create content and everyone knows you for that, you can keep that same consistency.
Yeah, like we could really, a good experiment would definitely be probably to figure out how we can create Guilty Chef videos that looks as if it's me. It feels right. Like the kitchen setup and everything's perfect. Like absolutely, man. And what I would do maybe is even like go into Nano Banana independently and play around with the environment and seeing, make sure I'm happy with that. So there's definitely like a back and forth iterative process. But I think that's where the magic is like you have to spend the time in iteration. Like the tools do everything so beautifully for you. But if you can get the template correct, you're really onto a winner. So, Yeah, let it rewrite that. This one is just generating images for the IKEA. Man, you know what? I thought in this video we go through a lot more than just video generation, but hey, this is brilliant enough as it is, I think.
Yeah, it's a good layer because I think a lot of the content that either you create or the sort of taught in the community is always around build, but this is very much a layer of building, but in a unique way that's it's marketable. It's introducing your products and how they actually visually look into a way that if you are building stuff and you've got no experience of how to then go and create assets for social content or create ads themselves, then you've now got this ability where using the same exact tools you do, it can pump stuff out for you.
Oh man, absolutely. Yeah, let's see what this edit looks like. So we'll just do this quick edit on the recipe to make sure to just show you guys an example of a visual change, and then let's see if we can get that big bang at the end with a IKEA explainer video, which by the way could go either way. It could be amazing, it could be terrible. I have no idea, what it's gonna spit out for us at the moment. But let's see what it does.
We could really ruin a relationship with IKEA here.
Oh no, I know. Let the lawsuits come in. But yeah, this is it's really fascinating, man. Really fascinating. Like again, like what we're seeing here is a programmatic way to make videos, and I think that in itself can't be understated how powerful that is. So literally the same way you're able to design a web page, you can design a video. Like just think about that for a minute. And those two worlds have never been fused together. So again, rewriting and flipping the world on its head comes back into this. Like you don't first of all speak videos into existence. That doesn't happen. And secondly, you don't think about designing videos, because I spoke about this when I explained how I was designing using Claude Code versus Figma or anything else, or Framer. It's like, well, it's not about the tool you're using. It's the mind, the taste. The tools are effectively the best way for you to output your vision onto the page. So in Figma, you have a series of squares, circles, rectangles, but you're still having to figure out, well, what's the right spacing? What's the right level of shadow? You adjust the sliders, you do all that type of stuff. By Claude Code, you're effectively doing the same thing, but instead of translating it from your brain as oh, this is my idea, using your fingers to do that, just the tools you have is a laptop, a screen, and a Figma interface. But now when you can do it through natural language, it's the same thing. You're just explaining it in words as opposed to, doing it on this canvas. And the same with video now. You instead of working on a timeline and, shifting, shuffling, using keyframes and whatever else, you're doing the same thing. Again, it starts with the vision, it starts with the idea, but you're translating it into a, spoken word effectively. Okay, cool. It says, happy the video should run it. Let me wait for it to complete. Each of the 8 scenes take a few minutes with the C-Dance model. Okay. All right. So it's updated there you go. So it's giving us a cleaner look.
Add a tablespoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. Refrigerate for at least 4 hours or open.
So now I'm going to say, well, let's see other ones working.
Let's get this quite nice.
Okay.
Refrigerate for at least 4 hours.
I need the video duration not to loop, but to match the audio duration. So if the video duration is too short, then slow the video down so it plays perfectly in one sequence, matching the audio. Oh, I can't spell. And my spelling is awful in Claude Code. So again, these are, by the way, the example of this feedback you gave, Ollie, it's just, we don't have to worry about how it does it. I don't need to give it a library or anything to figure out. It will figure it out. It needs to, like it says, I need to set playback rate on each video. So I don't know that it needs to set the playback rate. All I know is I'm explaining to you, don't want it to repeat, want it to slow down, want it to match the sequence, you figure it out, and it will go and figure that out. So there you go. So you feel like playback rate is supported. Awesome. There you go. Now it's going to adjust it.
First, soak your chicken.
Okay. So now it's going to update the video card. See this, how's it getting on?
First, soak your chicken.
So this is obviously just making the videos now. So I think it's 8 images, which means 8 videos. So
you can see how long it's been going for. It's nearly 12 minutes.
Yeah. I wonder if we can let this thing finish, just preview it anyway, because we might be able to preview. Well, let's say it's not written the video. Might not have written it yet. I can say how many videos do we have?
Fair play for anyone that's still around. This is an intense video.
It is.
Even my brain is
Hopefully,
slowly.
yeah,
I'm waiting
it
for
is
this
progressing
output.
well. So yeah, maybe. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna say, okay, let's pause there. Let the others run in background, but build the composition using the 3 videos we already have, so I can see a preview. And then you can add others in when done. Okay, assisting now should hopefully set the duration. Let's check this.
First, soak your chicken
There you
in
go.
seasoned buttermilk.
So slower.
Add a tablespoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. Refrigerate for at least 4 hours or overnight for the juiciest results.
So obviously it's very slow there, but in this case, probably what's happening here is normally with video AI models, you have like, it tends to be like 4 seconds or 8 seconds, right? Like the sequence of clips you can generate. So it might be generating a 4-second clip, but we might be better off generating 8-second clips instead. So even if it needs to slow down from like 8 to 10 seconds, it's not as abrupt as going from 4 to 10, as an example. So, okay, that's, let that cool, checking it's happy. Let this thing,
Come on, IKEA.
all right, so IKEA. So, okay, let's see what's got already.
Let's assemble the IKEA Mammoth children's chair. It's a fun, colorful
So, by the way, it's generated this image and video by itself.
Let's assemble the
product.
IKEA
It's not an
Mammoth
IKEA
children's
plastic
chair.
chair that's
It's a
super.
fun,
Inside the
colorful-
box, you'll find the seat, 4 tapered legs with rubber feet, the backrest with vertical
plastic
slats,
chair that's
and
super.
flip
Inside
the seat
box,
upside
you'll
down
find
on
the
a
seat,
carpet or
4
towel.
tapered legs
Take
with
each
rubber
leg
feet,
and push it
the
into one of the
backrest with
4
vertical
holes on the
slats, and
Now
flip
press each
the
leg
seat
firmly
upside
down
down on a
into the
carpet or
seat
towel.
using both
Take
hands.
each
Right.
leg and push
Apply
it
some
into
body
one
weight
of the
to
4
if any
holes
leg
on the
won't go all the
Now
way in
press
by
each
hand.
leg
Place a
firmly
flat
down
piece
into
of
the
wood on
seat
top
using
and gently
both
tap with a
hands.
hammer.
Apply
Now
some
flip
body
the chair
weight
right
if
side
any
up.
leg won't go
Take
all
the
the way in by
backrest and
hand.
line up the
Place a
tabs
flat
on the
piece of wood
bottom
on
with
top
the
and gently
rectangular.
tap with
Press
a
the
hammer.
backrest straight
Now
down
flip the
firmly.
chair right side up.
You know what's
Take the
crazy?
backrest and
I'm
line up the
actually so
tabs
much
on
more
the
impressed than I
bottom
thought
with
I'd
the
be.
rectangular.
Because
Press the
as
backrest
much
straight down
as
firmly.
is that you're pushing it up, all of that stuff I think you can fix. Yeah, I think that's all about prompting, negative prompting, all this type of stuff. Like the prompting part is actually the exciting part that doesn't stress me out. But you're getting a real life video effectively of an assembly, you know, so that in itself is actually quite interesting that it can do that. Now IKEA might not be the best example because I'm sure there's plenty of IKEA videos on YouTube, etc. It's just us just giving an idea, not saying that this is the next, you know, billion-dollar idea, although it could be. But just to show that you can do explainer videos like this, you know, we're doing a completely from scratch one, for example, with recipes.
We could do it with airlines, no? You know that manual they give you every time you go on a flight and they tell you all the instructions of what's going on, and then you see the air hostess or
Yes,
like sort of directing the thing. Like you could just turn that into a visual video that just gets played on the screen.
text larger and description larger. Remove the timestamp part pill below it. Make the step number and label larger too. I just want to show you an example of like just how I talk to it for design real quick. So I'm just trying to get these to be like just placed a bit better on the screen. And so I said to remove this, make all this a bit bigger, and I might even move them down a bit. So let's just see how it does that. The first input, output. Cool. There we go. It's doing it. So we'll see in real time now.
What I will say to kind of conclude, once this is done, a very, very simple process. Now you've seen us do it from bare bones, from scratch. The most sensible way of doing this is go and speak to Claude individually inside of your own tab, not using Claude Code, and then just say to it, I want to build a Claude skills that will end result be this, and then work with Claude for it to then give you a step-by-step of how you then go and do this. You've watched this video, you've seen how it looks like when you go through a manual process, but now it can give you the script. It can then adapt every single image prompt or video prompt based upon the audio sizes as well, so it's all done it for you. So when you do get an end result, you will have pretty much where we are right now, an hour and 34 minutes into this, but you'll have it within the first 30-second period.
Absolutely. Okay, let's start with only doing UI for where it has the steps. So third clip in, basically. Make text all bigger again. Okay. So I'm just getting to focus, and that's another great way of working. Is like, I don't want to just keep working on these screens right now. I don't care about the front cover. I just want to work on this. So only work on the story mode and just do that, because then it will only write the code for that. It won't keep like, doing 100 different things at once. So let it just fix that a little bit. But yeah, like you're seeing, sorry, you could just be tweaking this and getting your video perfect just by talking to Claude Code like this. So things being a little bit slow, but it's okay. We'll just do this change, and then I think we'll be good with that. So I just want to see this a bit bigger. But man, this could be so cool for recipes for sure. This is definitely a use case that I would probably sit there for like a day, and literally 1 day's worth of work could make it like such a slick process for recipes. Like, my gosh.
You just get it to scrape Guilty Chef, so every single time a new recipe gets pre-populated on there, then automatically creates a remotion video.
And even that just being on the page as a video as well, man, it's like...
Yeah. You know how you use Screen Studio at the minute in time? It would basically be that same version, but for this kind of content layer.
So it's making it bigger, which is great.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, you just keep playing around with it, keep getting, and again, like, you can use so many different elements, like, because it's programmatically done in code, you can go and find design elements on like UI libraries. So if you find like a cool animation that you saw on CodePen or somewhere else, you can just say, okay, use this. And so your video animations aren't limited to the things that you can do inside of Premiere Pro, After Effects, or whatever. Like, you could actually give it like a real example. I'll give it the 5-day sprint logo and say, go make me an ident, like, 20th Century Fox or something, and actually have it create something beautiful using the brand, using everything, comes out of you, sound effects, like, oh, it's wild. But I think we should pause it there, because we could literally be seeing it all day just making videos. So, man, look, we started the video off just straight into it, and then we got a phenomenal output with it. So yeah, I hope you guys, enjoy this, and everyone starts having a bit of fun playing around with videos.
Tag us in the creations you make. I'm very interested to see what people can do, and especially if you do end up going and make Claude skills, build it, share it with other people. Like these things, like we said earlier, ideas are great, but they're nothing unless they've got a bit of life behind them. So at least give it some value and give it to other people too.
Absolutely. And I'll share more as I start diving into this more. Like, this is just before the video. I started playing around with this. Now you see me in real time get blown away during the video. And now we'll see what comes up after this. I'm sure we'll keep sharing progress. So if you managed to stick around, thank you. Hope we're worthy of a like and a subscribe at this point, and a few comments. So let us know how you feel about this. We wanted to jump straight into a demo today rather than just sort of chit chat. So if that was useful and helpful as a format, then let us know. And, we just want to make sure these are as valuable as possible for you guys. So yeah, lovely, man. Thanks again, Ollie. Appreciate your time, man.
Awesome. Appreciate you. See you soon.
See you guys. Bye.
Clap, 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 we're done just right. 5-day sprint took us to new heights. Make it